course. Hello, everybody. This is Chalisa. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much, everybody who's listening in the podcast. Today is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. I wanted to come here and share something with you guys because this is another example how, we see how we have a lot of adult bullies in leadership positions, and it happens a lot, okay? And when I saw this video come across my TikTok page, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I got so sad watching the mom crying, saying that her child was forced to clean up somebody, his classmates, bodily fluids. And it's just so sad that, we see stuff like this happening. And it's just an example how there needs to be more training in how, you know, there are adult bullies that have unresolved issues and they are in leadership positions, okay? Before I continue and share to you the whole story of what happened, I wanted to comment also thank you so much everybody who is watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing. And of course, thank you so much to everybody who's listening using Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for following me and listening, and also everybody who's tuning in using Pandora Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. So like I said, I think I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, I don't know what year it was, but there have been episodes where you see people working at daycare being extremely rude and this type of bully type of behavior from an adult to a child. And I always tell you guys, but what doesn't get resolved when the child is growing up, it turns into an adult problem. And that also includes a bully that has unresolved issues, that ways to get into leadership positions so that they can bully somebody. It's almost like those people that will always want to humble you for no reason whatsoever because they see some type of potential in you, so they want to humble you, put you in your place even though you haven't said anything or done anything wrong to them. We deal a lot with a lot of bullies, and you can see it in office spaces, workplaces. People who are micromanagement. You can be a full grown adult, graduated from college and everything, and you have a manager working at an office for 20 years trying to tell you how to write an email, like you don't know how to do that. This belief of in dehumanization only comes from somebody who's extremely insecure on themselves, right? And the reason that I say that, a lot of these people tend to be in leadership position because they use their charm to get ahead in life, right? And we know, people get, I work in sales for many years, not in sales, but I work in visual displays, but I will see sales associates trying to get their commission and talk about basically telling somebody everything they want to hear just so that they can get sales. So if that works for selling all type of price range, imagine in the workplace, in job setting, the flattery, it comes along, and then they go through to the cracks, I guess you can say, and they get to top leadership positions, and they have this authority, and their insecurity shows up when they become adult bullies in workplaces, in schools, and they become teachers and principals, like I'm going to talk to you guys about. There is no reason why a child should be forced to clean up after another classmate. That's the teacher's responsibility if the custodian is not available, okay? You don't make somebody do something, especially when it comes to bodily fluids, because there's a toxic issue going on too. You're not supposed to deal with things like that, especially a child doesn't know, right? A child doesn't know. And it's this, you do what I say. I'm not saying not to respect elders or adults, obviously, but all I'm saying that I'm glad that the mom was able to catch up and see what the child was dealing with, to kind of and not just take it and file a complaint that was probably going to go nowhere, to actually call the news and say something, right? And now this story has gone viral, and I'm so happy to see that because if you don't expose when somebody's doing something that you don't like, if you don't expose it and say something about it, it's gonna just continue on, right? And these adult bullies, these bullies in workplaces, in offices, in places, right? We need to call them out, right? We need to call them out. So let me just read to you guys briefly exactly what happened here. A school principal forced a 9-year-old to clean up another student's urine, the mom said. It says here that this happened in Utica, Michigan, I think. Yeah. A Michigan mother is speaking out after she said her son was forced to clean up urine left by another student inside a school bathroom, okay? Utica Community Schools is now investigating the incident that happened at Evelyn, oh, yeah, I might be mispronouncing that the school name, but it's called Evelyn Elementary School. And the mom said they let him down, they humiliated him, embarrassed him. She said her name is Kaylin McCarthy. Two of her children attend the middle school. She said on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, her 9-year-old was upset about something. He said, Mom, the teacher made me get a paper towel and clean somebody's pee. And she said, that's what she said. I mean, that's what the child said when she said, what is wrong? What's going on? And that's something that I always say. Oh, if you deal with daycares, like I always say, if you deal on a daily basis with a nursing home, meaning you have a family member in a nursing home, always ask and be alert if there is a change in behavior of your loved one. That's for you to pay attention to do something about it, right? So she immediately noticed, right? Your mom knows, right? Your mom knows immediately when something's going on with you. And that's what her child said, they made me clean up somebody's pee. And she said, the principal also told her that it wasn't the custodian's job to clean up the bathroom after every boy goes to pee. Are you serious? Like, one thing, I mean, if you're telling me this custodian, I'm sorry, but talk about letting somebody know what their job position is, right? What their job's duty is. This custodian is not working at a big company where only adults work. He's working at elementary schools. Accidents like this are going to happen, and that custodian, he or she should be able to be ready, available to clean up after little kids like that. If they, especially, they're growing up, right? They do a lot of error, and they're just learning out. So it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm not cleaning anymore after little kids. Then you are in the wrong job, right? If you say to your supervisor, you work as a custodian at an elementary school, and you have an issue with cleaning little kids' pee, urine from the bathroom floor, then you are definitely in the wrong job, right? But the thing is, like, when somebody's hired to do something and they complain about something they don't want to do, it depends who they say it to. That they might say to you, well, you're in the wrong job, or somebody who is just let people just be, they'll be like, okay, we'll make sure all the kids clean up after themselves. It is ludicrous. It's crazy for you to think that you're going to get hired at elementary school as a custodian and be like, I'm refusing to clean up pee from the bathroom. That's crazy. That's what your job is, right? One thing, they can train the students to do better every day, but things like this are going to happen eventually at some point. So it should have never been allowed for the custodian to be like, I'm not doing that anymore, right? And I think that's what happened here, because that person said, that's not my job to do so, and it was allowed and received, and now they put that responsibility on the children who are still being trained to use the bathroom properly, right? And this is what happened. That's, I think in this case it's 100% the school fault. It shouldn't even be a discussion. The mom shouldn't be reaching out to the principal. It should have never happened, okay? It is 100% the custodian's job to do that. So it's just crazy. And then she said that's what the principal told her, that it was the custodian's job to clean up the bathroom after every boy goes to pee, that it was not the custodian's job. The principal said she gave the child the paper towel and made him clean up the pee off the floor because he was the last one to use the bathroom, right? That's very dangerous. You don't do that because there is a contamination issue here too, right? Especially with bodily fluids. I know he's not cleaning up the bathroom at an emergency room type of setting, but even so, it shouldn't be like it was an act of humiliation, I think, and it needs to. It could have been so many things behind that to make him do that. And especially when the child is telling you, because I'm sure he told the principal and the teacher, it wasn't me, I was not the last one to do that, right? So this needs to be investigated and it needs to be addressed by the school and the school district, whatever, because it should have never happened, okay? I'm sure, you know what I'm thinking now? Because of this, I'm sure so many little, students in that classroom are probably afraid to use the bathroom now, right? Even they might have to go, but they might don't know how to clean up 100%, like really well after themselves. So they might not even want to go to the bathroom, right? It's all about training and learning how to communicate, especially when you are in that leadership position of a principal, of a teacher. Learn how to communicate with the students, right? Especially when things like that happen at elementary school, when you're growing up, that sticks to your mind. Like that sticks to you forever, right? So let me just see here. Utica Community School said in a statement, district protocol requires that our facility staff or other trained personnel clean up and manage our restrooms and classrooms. Currently, the situation is being investigated to ensure that proper protocols are understood and being followed within the building, as this matter involves the privacy of students and staff members. The district will not comment further at this time. So good. Yeah, this definitely just showed. When I read this and I saw the mom cry, 100% somebody was not trained right. If a custodian that works at elementary school, right, has an issue cleaning the bathrooms, that person is in the wrong position. It should not be doing the job at all. It's not, because you see a lot of these things happen, you hire somebody and they're like, oh, I won't do that and I won't do this, and then you're not a right fit. And if that doesn't get addressed, then you come to problems like this, because instead of telling somebody you got hired to do this, you want to adjust everybody else so that they can comply to this person, so that they can adjust to this one person. Everybody else has to adjust and be like, oh no, now the kids had to clean up after themselves. Now they have to deal with bodily fluids and all of that. No, that custodian was hired to do just that, and that person should be responsible to do the cleanup. If they're not happy doing the cleanup, they're in the wrong job. And that should have been addressed already. And that child who should have never been put in that situation. So let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.